So there's a saying that, I forgot exactly how the saying goes, but it says when something to the effect that when somebody controls like the majority or all of it, it's more likely to become corrupted, right? So the more centralized it is, and the more smaller percentage of whoever it is controlling it, is more, what I believe is that's more opportunity for corruption. As far as regulation, I don't necessarily see regulation as a risk. I see regulation as that's legitimizing the blockchain. They're actually regulating it because they're making it legitimate so that more institutional investors and ETF funds are created, right? The government gets their piece of the pie, of course, right, of the SAM. And so really, I believe that it's actually going to be good for the technology because it's going to become safer for big money to dump more money into the system. Another concept with Bitcoin is that there's only 21 million Bitcoins that will ever be created. Back in 1972-ish, somewhere in there, the US dollar was taken off the gold standard, which then made it a fiat currency, which they started printing and printing. They just kept printing and printing. Oh, well, that's hyperinflation, right? So the value of the dollar is dropping, dropping, dropping. So it's kind of hard to tell, is the value, like, what's the value of the dollar? Because you just keep printing more and more and more. Well, Bitcoin, you can never make anymore. So, one of the reasons that it was created was that it would be a store of value. It's like digital gold, but there's no more gold. And so where's the price going to go? It's going to go up and up and up, right? It depends on how much money is in it and how much perceived value is there, of course. But, and then we can actually, if anybody's interested in kind of seeing how it works, actually we can, Dash has been nice enough to give us some Dash to give out. So if anybody has like a wallet or hasn't had a wallet, you can put a wallet on your smartphone, and then we can just send you a little bit of money, and you can see how quick it is, right? And just the speed of the transactions. It's a lot easier than doing like a bank, withdrawal or transfer, right? So I heard about Bitcoin about 10 years ago. It came from a source, came from a friend of mine. He had talked about it. He had done like pseudo investing, right? He wasn't really investing. He wasn't an investor. He just kind of had some investment clubs in college, right, where they did fake investing. So I really didn't take it very seriously. I didn't go research it. I was looking at some emails a few weeks back. It was when Bitcoin was like $11, so I'm kicking myself now, of course, right? But early last year, I went to a conference here in town. Some friends of mine own a company in Houston, and they put on a DataCon conference. And one of the main guys for Consensus was there, which Consensus is all over Ethereum. And they were saying what blockchain was. And I was like, wait a minute, Bitcoin is blockchain? And I realized it was cryptography. It was like IT security, which is one of the big four right now. Security is huge, it's not going anywhere. And then I remember back that I had walked in cryptography labs at my clients, and I had seen like servers like they were creating cryptography, and I'm like, this is gonna explode. So I started calling up my friends, like, or investors, right? Because I had never really been like in the stock market, and I was calling people that had like hundreds of thousands of dollars in the stock market, and they're like, what's that? I don't know anything about that, right? And I told them, man, you got to get all over this because it's gonna go through the roof. And sure enough, last year it went to the roof. So I dove in. I mean, I immediately identified, what it was and what was going to happen because I've been following technology. Of course, I'm very good at not believing the hype and not believing what everybody says and listening to the news. I go and figure it out for myself. And so, I beat my head against the wall for a very long time trying to figure these things out, trying to figure out technical analysis, finding out who's telling the truth and who's just trying to hype something up, trying to dig into the technology, see what real world problems that they're trying to solve, right? And then what exchanges can you trust, right? All this, so it's just like an ocean of information. And I just, I've been looking for people that are interested in it. And so now one of my big passions is really helping people and kind of the underdog, right? And so I became very interested in it because I see it as an opportunity for everyday people to maybe get onto something really cool and really benefit from it. And So I started networking with people, and I'm interested in putting people together and working together as a team to kind of bite off small pieces and share the knowledge versus trying to do it myself, right? And my passion is also just to help people. So I want people to learn from my mistakes, right? Because I made a lot of mistakes. Some good mistakes, some bad mistakes, right? I believe all mistakes are great. If you know how to handle them, you will learn from them, right? And so I've been very fortunate that I didn't lose all my money. I made a decent amount, but I could have made a lot more because I made a lot of mistakes. And so it's better to be safe than sorry, and make your own decisions, right? That's what I believe.